I've got a template on my website, and they copy and paste it, fill it in, and then they message me and go, got an upgrade.
So here we are out for another walk today. We're in the Darent Valley, which I've chosen because it's quite near to my house. And we're walking with Chelsea, aka Cheap Holiday Expert. What would you rather be called? Chelsea or Cheap Holiday Expert?
Cheap Holiday Expert the entire time, please.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
So Cheap Holiday Expert, let's get walking. So Chelsea, we're just crossing a golf course. Have you ever played golf?
Once.
How'd it go?
Terribly. But it was a lot of fun because we had a buggy.
Did you?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Really, really good.
You can go a lot faster in a buggy than you first think, can't you?
Oh my god, it's so, especially if you're not driving. If someone else is driving and you're hanging off the back, that's the best way to go.
The first time I ever played golf, I got stung by a wasp on the hand on the first tee.
Did you?
I thought that was a sign that I shouldn't be playing golf.
Have you played it since?
Yes.
Well,
But
are
I'm
you
rubbish.
good?
No, God
see,
no.
the bee knew. The wasp knew. It did.
So Chelsea, you are a holiday expert.
Indeed.
Very excited about this. I've followed you on Instagram and on the YouTube and other things for a long time, and you're the example I give to people being good at Instagram.
How many people ask you, Robbie, can you tell me someone who's good at
They don't have to ask. I just tell them.
Are you a social media consultant?
Well, no, but I do have a production company, so I do talk a bit about these things to people, and I also like telling people what they should be doing.
Oh my god, am I in a presentation?
No, I'm not that professional. No, but you're in a verbal presentation a lot of the time.
Okay, good.
But you're very good at it. How did you get good at it?
What, the holiday bit or
The Instagrammy stuff?
Oh, I don't know. It took a while because I don't know if you find this too. Do you remember the first time when you like recording yourself on your phone and you're like, this is weird?
Yeah.
I look like an absolute knob.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why I became really comfortable with it is I started on Snapchat when I was in Vietnam with my brother on this stupid trip that we went on. It was amazing. And I think I was pushing these stories out to maybe like 20 people because I think I still only have about 20 followers on Snapchat. And I think because it really was just for my family and my friends that were watching, it was very natural to do, and perhaps I trained in the arena of Snapchat and then left it all behind for Instagram when they introduced stories.
Nice. And what made you get into cheap holiday stuff?
A lack of money.
A lack of money, yeah. Why weren't you doing luxury holidays?
My boyfriend is always like, why not luxury? I'm like, come on, James, come on.
It's a good niche though, isn't it?
It's great. I mean, how many people can you say to, do you like cheap holidays? They're not going to say no, are they? So you're like, you do? Excellent, you should probably follow me. Fantastic.
In my younger days, I didn't have children ruining my life. I'm joking, children, love you. I used to do a lot of like weekends away and stuff like that. So I 100% would have been all over my youth.
Well, I think it started off because it was New Year coming up. I was like, need a resolution.
Yeah.
Worked in radio. The way that radio works is that everything's kind of going a bit more visual.
Yeah.
You know, you see it all the time, don't you? Radio station pushing out videos of stuff. I was like, okay, I want to learn how to video edit, and I want to travel more. What could I do that brings these two things together? And that's when I started my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And with my proper like radio producer head on, I was like, what's the challenge? What are people watching it? So I did 10 holidays for half the price of what the average British person spends in a year. That's catchy.
How much was it that the average person spends? Roughly, can you remember?
I found this report and it was madness. It said that the average British person spends £3,418 a year on holidays. Which, I was like, excuse me?
Yeah. I don't spend that much. Having got children now, I can understand how you can.
Where the stats
because if you have to go out in August, then
and that's something I've definitely learned more about. I did that for a year, and it was great because I gave myself silly little rules. Like one of them was I had to fly business. One of them was I had to go to 3 continents, and I really was running out of money. I wasn't even doing it for like YouTube drams. I was like, oh crap! The last one I'd booked was New York and Miami. You know, those really cheap destinations. I was like, we'll have to sleep on the street here because we've run out of money. And I ended up like doing house sitting and house swapping and stayed in someone's house who had an Emmy. Like it ended up being insane and really good. And basically the reason it was so good is it made me think outside the box in terms of how to get cheap stays and do things a bit alternatively. And yeah, I guess by the end of it, I got in a few newspapers.
Yeah. People
were interested. I was like, I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And since then, I do radio bits, TV bits about cheap holidays. And
I get that this would be something you get asked more than anything else, but what it would be the basic advice that people don't know, that most people don't know for getting cheap holidays?
Stop worrying about cheap flights. Cheap flights are not the be-all, end-all. Everyone always is looking for that cheapest possible flight. But we're forgetting that if you go away for a week, your nightly rate at a hotel is way more important than getting £10 off a flight. So I always say to people, if you're going for over two nights, start with the accommodation first and work backwards.
Right.
Because you can end up saving so much more money by choosing cheaper accommodation that fits those dates.
I find I always used to as well, just look at the flight, and then I'd be living out in West London, in Ealing or something like that, and then I'd end up going, I can save £10 by not going from Heathrow and by going from Stansted, spending like 35 quid to get there.
3 hours.
Yeah, you have more expensive train journeys than the flights on those, yeah.
So yeah, that's always one that I would say, and the one that is always the most popular is if you're staying in a nice hotel, ask for an upgrade.
Right.
You just ask for it.
In person, on email?
On email.
Right.
You got to word it nicely, you got to be like, can't wait to stay, being recommended it by a friend that looks beautiful. We're actually coming because we are celebrating my partner's job promotion, a good one, because there's no dates around that.
Okay,
there's no proof, so you can't be caught out by a passport, date of birth or anything like that.
Great, yeah, clever.
Just wondering if you have any any rooms free. We would absolutely love to be, included in the upgrade plans, or kind of wording it nicely and like, either way, can't wait.
Yeah, I like that.
And it works about 50% of the time, I reckon.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, and people always say to me, they're like, is that because you sent it from your email that says cheap holiday expert on it? And I'm like, no, if anything, that is going to scare people off.
Yeah.
James does it all the time, and constantly I get people on Instagram saying it worked.
Yeah.
Because I've got a template on my website, and they copy and paste it, fill it in, and then they message me and go, got an upgrade.
That's great, that.
Yeah.
What's been your favourite cheap holiday that you've been on?
My favourite cheap holidays are always the ones that you don't really expect much from.
Yeah.
So I always talk about this one, and it's hilarious because it's one of the few holidays on that challenge that I went on without my boyfriend. So he's always like, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Just because I wasn't there. But we went to Gdansk in Poland. Have you been?
Nope. Never been to Poland.
Poland is so good. And I mean, value for money is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So Gdansk, where it is on the map, it's at the top of Poland. And if you look at how far away it is from like Scandinavia, you can kind of understand that architectural vibe carries on through.
Okay.
Like, it's beautiful. It really reminds me, the harbour there reminds me of, in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to say it properly. Is it Nyhavn?
I don't know, but I've been there, I know what you mean. Yeah.
The beautiful coloured houses. It's really, really similar in terms of the architecture.
Wow.
Amazing places to drink. Good beer, great vodka, and I think a glass of Prosecco there was £2.
A lot of your trips do revolve around a lot of drinking, don't they? And I'm completely on board with this, because it is the best thing about going away.
This is what I don't understand. I watch a lot of travel videos, and I love them, because I think they're really good at giving you inspiration about where you can go.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, are you all shitting me? Are you trying to tell me you don't go on holiday and get absolutely off your tits?
That's why
Is that not what everyone does on holiday?
That's why I always prefer rough guides to Lonely Planet ones, because Lonely Planet are always like, there's a really great museum about fish, and they go, that's cool. And rough guide, it's not what I'd like, but it is also going, hey, this bar's mental, stuff like that. So I always prefer that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's like so little of my time is when I go away is looking at touristy things.
Yeah. And there's some YouTubers called Damon and Joe. So the reason I love their channel is because some of their travel videos are literally them going to a place.
I think I might have seen them actually.
Yeah, they're really, really popular.
Yeah.
They've gone their different ways right now.
Okay.
So yeah, but they're still both posting. But they're so good because they'll just literally go somewhere go have a glass of wine, and then 4 hours later they'll come back and be like, so we've done nothing because we've stayed in this bar and drank. And I'm like, that's what you do on holiday.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would do. I respect that. But it made me laugh because I was watching your walk with Bambino Becky.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what do I have to offer here? I've got brown hair, I'm a woman, I'm Welsh, and I like a drink.
Yeah.
I was like, she's
got
nailed
my act.
She's absolutely nailed it, and she's so much younger.
But now I always bring along a drink and a snack on these things. I brought along. I thought, what can I bring along? First of all, let me get your cup, and you'd be pleased to see. There we go. I've popped your name on it, as I always do for everyone.
I was going to say, if it doesn't say Cheap Holiday Expert, I'll be livid.
Yeah, mine still says Robbie and all that. And I was thinking, what can I bring along? Because I thought, well, maybe like a coffee's a bit tan and all that. But I've recently come into Oktoberfest beer, okay?
Oh my God, yes.
And Oktoberfest is cancelled, so we can have our own
Oktoberfest
on the edge of this golf course that we're squatting on. No one seems to be playing golf. I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine. So let me just open this up. And
I am absolutely buzzing because I've just had a load of tea. So I would have had another cup of tea, but I'm proper buzzing about this.
Yeah, this is a much better choice. Oktoberfest is one of those things that I really want to do from a travel point of view. Have you ever done it?
No, I've been to Munich, so I've done some of the bars, but
yeah,
not
but I'd
in
like
October.
to go in Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
And it's another thing. Oktoberfest and the Edinburgh Festival are the two things that every time it happens, I'm like, balls! I forgot to book it up.
Yeah, and you have to do it way in advance.
Yeah, you have to plan in advance.
So I think Oktoberfest sometimes is in September. Oh, cheers, by the way.
It is, I think. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Why?
It's earlier than you think.
Why?
But also, I never forget it. I never remember it's on, sort of thing.
It's terrible branding.
Yeah, I know. Septemberfest.
Or maybe that's the thing. Like, by the way, it's September.
Maybe October is German for September. I don't know. I'm not sure.
But no, I would definitely love to do it. I love a pint. I love Germany.
Yep,
I
love Germany.
It's like the perfect
Germany's
unification.
amazing.
No one ever really chats about it that much.
No, and I grew up in the 80s. 70s, 80s. Well, I was born in 1977, so a lot of my upbringing was in the 80s, around the sort of tail end of the Cold War.
But
we were given a very bad impression of what East Germany was like. For a start, we were told that all women were big shop-putting women. That is not the case when you go to Germany.
No, they're beautiful.
But it's brilliant. Like, Germany's so great. I was there once in a bar, and I met a bloke. He was a bit older than me, and he'd been in a grunge band, and he supported Nirvana back in the day. Well, it's just a German guy, and I was just chatting to him, and he was a bit older. And he was sort of like 18 when the Berlin Wall came down. I said, what was that like? I was amazing. He goes, I didn't really care. I was 18. He said I lived right by the wall. He said I was walking along, and there was like some people knocked a hole in the wall and had come through the hole. These guys waited. I went, all right. But he said, but you used to be able to, if you're from West Germany, you could go to East Germany.
Yeah.
So he said, he'd go for a night out in
Yeah.
East Germany and have a few drinks and come back. So just the other way you couldn't go.
Yeah, so bizarre.
Really weird.
Really. But Berlin is one of my favourite cities.
It's amazing.
Fantastic.
I went to Berlin. I've got a thing with some friends that it would sound too fancy to call it a dining club. What it is there's four of us, and in theory once a month, well, obviously not at the minute, but in theory once a month, we go to a restaurant together. It was a way to meet up more, was the plan. You go to a restaurant, and if it's your month, you choose the restaurant and you pay. So you could tailor it to your budget, which is good. So if you're having a lean time, you can go to a cheaper place. And some of them are just nice restaurants, some of them are sort of more unusual dining experiences, sort of thing. And so you get 3 free meals, and then you get massively stung ones. But one time, the day after the Brexit vote, Ryanair had a sale where you could get flights for £10 each way.
I was about to say, are you about to tell me that some people will take you to a budget restaurant and you took people to Berlin?
I took them to Berlin for a kebab. So I didn't tell them, they didn't know where they were going in the morning. I just said, you've got to be in this day.
So much.
I got their passports from their wives or girlfriends and picked them all up at 5 in the morning. What I didn't factor in, again, was that I'd have to pay for a taxi to Stansted in the morning. So that cost about 90 quid or something like that. So that ate into it a lot. But 4 flights for 80 quid, return flights in a day. So we went there in the morning, went to like a beer hall type thing first. So like 9:30 in the morning, having pints. Then went to this kebab because the doner kebab comes from Berlin. Did not know that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and this is the home of this is like the best kebab shop there. So like €3 for a kebab, best kebab I've ever had. To be fair.
Thank God.
A few more drinks and then came back home. Day trip to
I
Berlin
love
for
that.
kebab.
Oh my God! So
that's cheap
hang on,
holiday.
hang on.
That's cheap holiday.
That
Day
is,
tripping.
but is that pre-YouTube? Are you trying to tell me you did this
Pre-YouTube.
just for fun, and not
Yeah.
for content?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It's great content.
It is great content. I should do it
Do
now.
it again.
If we
So
can
you haven't done it.
find £10 flights, we'll go. I'll take you to the kebab place. There we go. That could be our next video. Planning ahead already. We'll go for it. We'll go for a kebab in Berlin.
When I went to Munich, we were staying in a place called Ulm. We've got this absolutely.
I know about Ulm.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why do you know about Ulm?
Because I've got one of my business clients has got a place in Ulm.
Oh my God, maybe it's the same person that I know. I was house sitting and I applied for this house sit and all they had on the website was just one picture, one really badly taken photo. But I looked at it and I was like, that's got potential.
Yeah.
I was like, that, I'm just getting vibes that this is an expensive place.
What industry do they work in?
They were both CEOs. One was in, I can't remember.
Pharmaceutically thing? No.
No.
Okay.
But I love that your person is a CEO too. Maybe that's
No. It was an organisation. It's not my person. But yeah. But that's interesting.
So I stayed in their amazing house, and then we got a Flixbus to
What's that?
Munich. So it's a bit like National Express.
Okay.
Is that what it's called? Can you tell? Don't go on many coaches.
Yeah, National Express is a bus.
Yeah.
Mega bus is the cheaper one.
Exactly. So I'd say it's in between the two. It was actually very nice. I would recommend a Flixbus.
Okay.
It was absolutely excellent. And we went to Munich for 6 hours and I think we did 6 pints in 6 hours.
That's good.
Yeah. Did a video.
Yeah, no, that's where I went wrong. I think I've got photos somewhere. If I've got photos, I'll put them in here. But yeah, it was a glorious kebab. So where's the place? What's the holiday? Not necessarily a place, but maybe like an event or a thing or something that you'd love to go to that you've never been to. Like mine will be at Oktoberfest.
Ooh, an event.
Well, not necessarily, or it could just be a place if you want.
I would love to do, and I haven't got anything specifically in mind. I would love to do a festival when it's warm and you know it's going to be warm.
What, abroad or in the UK? Yeah.
I've never done an abroad festival, and I just think that would be lovely because I've done Glastonbury and I love Glastonbury.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, and I'm gutted it wasn't happening this year. But it would be nice to be like, we're going here, and I can just pack my shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah. I went to a festival in Barcelona once, but I was staying with friends, so we weren't doing a camping
Was it
thing.
Primavera?
It wasn't. It was. I don't think it's running anymore. Our friend's band were playing at it, so we went along. It was quite good. I remember Primal Scream were playing as well.
Oh, cool.
I can't remember. There were quite a lot of good people on. And what was weird though was that nobody waits at the front of the stage like they do in Britain. You're not like a gig people get there first thing. They generally, when a band comes and starts playing, then people go to the front of the stage. So we were sort of going, Primal Scream on a minute. Let's go down there. We walked down, and then we would be. There's like no one there, so you just go stand at the front, and then they start playing, and then everyone else comes along, and you're like at the front.
That sounds fantastic.
Really good.
What is wrong with us? That sounds like the optimum way.
Yeah, I also went away to Barcelona a few years ago. We've got a thing that another group of friends do. It's called the Precedent because what happened was Dan Trelfer, who's a YouTuber, who's been on my channel a few times. It was his 40th birthday. It was back a few years back, and his wife said to us, "I don't want to organise a party. Can you guys take him away somewhere?" Now this was the greatest thing to happen because his wife had suggested it. Our wives were powerless it was the perfect hand. It was incredible. So we've arranged this not because we have any interest in celebrating Dan's birthday, because we're interested in the precedent it sets for our birthdays and years of trips away. So for the first precedent, we surprised him. We basically sent him cryptic messages through the post saying that something was going to happen for his birthday and all this. And eventually, at his work, we delivered a box with an envelope saying, get on this tube train, leave now, get on this tube train and open this when you're on the train. And it was basically his passport and a one-way Eurostar ticket to Paris. But he didn't know who he was going with or anything like that, and we eventually got on the train with him like that. But he could have just ended up in Paris with 11 o'clock at night.
You're the best friends ever.
In fact, you know what? I'll put in the video now of when we got on the train and surprised him
Oh my
on this,
God.
because I've filmed it. Bonjour, Mr. Trelford. Great.
Yes, a bit of interesting.
Can I just have a moment? Like, if my friends are watching this, that sounds epic.
It's great.
That is such a good idea.
It's really good,
I
yeah.
love that.
So anyway, Dan's birthday's not interesting, but then the rest of our birthdays we've got in since then. So the second one, our friend Jim, we went to Barcelona with, and this is where I was coming around to with the story. The other thing they don't get in Barcelona is that you can go to the pub before watching football.
What,
And
they don't do it?
No. So we went to watch Barcelona, and there was a pub opposite the ground, and we thought, well, no, we're never going to get in anywhere. There's like about 2 people in it. We're like, we never thought about this. This is brilliant. This bit. So we just had a drink and then waited about
Do you
10
think
minutes before the
it's
game.
an English barman who was like, "This is cheap. Wonder why."
I mean, no,
What a
no,
great
it was-
location.
It was like a weird, just a random sort of Spanish thing, but no one else seemed to be considering it. There's like a couple of people in there, but hardly anyone.
Probably talks a bit to our drink
Yeah, definitely. So that's we've done 3 so far out of those precedents. The third one we went. My friend Al is into cycling, so we took him to the World Track Cycling Championships in Holland.
God, that's
Yeah.
amazing. I've set a bit of a precedent with birthdays too now with
Okay.
my boyfriend.
Yeah.
That we now birthdays mean you take the other person away, which I
That's
think
nice.
is brilliant, though,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because do you really want anything? I'd much rather go somewhere.
Yeah.
But it does get pricey, doesn't it? Like when you start going, right, let's
It
go
shouldn't
on
be
a
if you're the cheap holiday expert.
I know, but like on a budget,
Yeah.
and then you want to beat the person from last year.
Right.
They-
So there's a one-upmanship in the holiday quality.
Absolutely. I once took James to Portugal. We went to Lisbon to see Elton John.
That's amazing.
Annoyingly, his 29th birthday. I totally screwed myself over for the 30th.
Yeah.
How do you beat that? How do you beat that? But it was really interesting what you're saying about how the crowd were in Spain. Because in Portugal, no one was up and dancing. It was like everyone was sat watching Elton John, and we were on it. Like we were up and down, back to the and no one else left to get more drinks. Like it was desolate back there. We went up maybe 3 times. We were getting a little bit rowdy. The only other people getting rowdy were definitely British as well. But then there was one point, and it was so beautiful. This couple got up to like slow dance to your song in the aisle. Got told by security to sit back down.
It's not your song. It's everyone's song. Sit down. Got something to show you here,
Okay.
Chelsea. Have a look at this pole here.
I'm looking. I like your pole.
So this is signifying the Shoreham gas pipeline. It's a gas pipeline that goes underground here. So there's a warning post everywhere around this area.
No
Shows it's where it's
digging.
going, no digging, because there's a huge gas pipeline.
Oh, but I did actually have my JCB arm in my backpack ready.
But get this, some criminal bloke bought a house that was above the Shoreham gas pipeline to steal gas.
That he was tapping gas.
He was stealing gas.
I actually love that. I can make a documentary about that probably.
Okay, find out. Do it.
Let's do it.
All right, go for it.
Co-production.
Yeah. So a lot of sport today, haven't we? We saw some golf,
Yeah.
golf course earlier, and now we're at a cricket pitch.
Oh my god, is that what this is?
Yep, that's
Wow.
cricket nets over there.
Where are
Those
the
are like-
lines? Do they not have lines?
It's not the season, so they don't have them now.
Nets. Like
So they
scoring
practice.
goals.
No, they practice in them. So they practice their bowling and batting and that, so that if they hit it, it's not going miles every time, it's just hitting into a
I was
net.
going to say, I was like, I don't know cricket, but I'm fairly certain they
They
don't
don't
have
score
goals.
goals. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So that's what this is, but it's not cricket season, so there's no
It's just
markings, I don't think. Yeah.
Right.
I've got a snack. I always provide a snack.
Okay.
I didn't go foreign for this. I didn't go exotic.
Okay.
You may or may not like it. I don't know what you eat. I got some pork pies.
Fantastic.
Dickinson.
Oh!
I know, right?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
There
My
we go.
surname's Dickinson.
Oh yeah. That's probably. Is that the right spelling? Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not, but I
no.
can pretend.
It's Dickens. It's close enough.
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate you want it to be. There you go.
Thank you.
Have a pie and a.
Yeah, I think one of my ancestors spelled it wrong, to be fair. Like, it's
Oh,
not,
really?
It's not that pie's fault.
Do you like a pork pie?
I do. I like it as part of a Christmas Day buffet. That's my favourite time to eat a pork pie.
I went,
What's that?
I went to Moulton Mowbray once. I met a bloke in a pie shop, and he said, and this is what's going on here, the mistake people make with pork pies is they eat them out of the fridge, and you're not supposed to, because the jelly
Settles.
So I put this in my bag quite a while ago. You'll be pleased to hear. You want the jelly to be a bit wet, otherwise
It is a bit wet.
Yeah,
I was going to
that's
say
what
to
you want.
this pie is a bit wet.
It's a wet pie.
Yeah,
That's what you want.
pie.
You want a wet pie.
It's a delicious wet pie.
So enjoy a delicious wet pie. What country's got the best food?
Ooh. Oh, okay. Italy. If I had to eat one nationality, it would have to be Italian. There's just so much choice. Pasta, pizza, meat dishes.
That's the only right answer.
Absolutely. Because Mexican, brilliant, love it. But it's all there's not as much variety.
My wife said to me the other day, or a month or two ago, said, "Should we get a curry tonight?" She went, "No, it's a bit hot to get curry, isn't it?" I was like, "You're going to lose your mind when you find out what the climate of India's like." Ridiculous concept. Yeah, Italy's definitely got the best food.
Yeah. So would you say Italy too?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Because you've got such a variety of.
I should have said
stuff.
something obscure, shouldn't I?
No. But then I guess if you're Indian, you'd probably like curry for breakfast and stuff.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
They
Yeah.
have it for curry.
But it seems weird to
curry
me.
for
But
breakfast.
I guess then it's not.
Yeah, Italy. They've nailed it. Like, because they even do like, what's it called? That mozzarella salad. Is it tricolore? I don't know how to say it. But they even have your salad, your lighter options.
Yeah.
They've nailed it.
Bit of fish. A light sort of pastry thing as well. They got everything, and good coffee as well.
Yeah.
I love the little station coffee things that they have, where people just go and get their little espresso and move on. Love that. Yeah. But we have good pies.
We do have good pies. I love affogato.
What's
Mostly
that?
because I like saying it. Affogato. It's at the end of a meal. You get your coffee, but they put a scoop of ice cream in it.
I don't have coffee at the end of a meal.
I don't normally, because it's normally like 10:30 and I'll be absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. I think it seems mental. Like, why would you have coffee then?
But I would have it as an affogato.
It's like having a pint for breakfast. The opposite of what you should be doing.
That sounds fine too.
Yeah,
I'm
both of
fine with it.
Hey, we're not here
You
to judge.
bloody finished it. Right, okay, you talk for a
That's
bit.
what I figured. I figured if I eat my pie quickly, then I can talk while you're eating your pie. Very forward thinking on this YouTube.
Very good.
On this YouTube channel. So I'll ask you some questions and you can just like nod or something
Yes
like
or
that.
no questions.
Okay. Have you ever lived in a country that isn't the UK? Okay, this isn't working because now I need to
I'm nearly done.
ask you a question. Okay.
I'll hold it for a bit.
Let's have like a nice shot of something in the distance while Chelsea finishes her pie. So
Done.
you finish your pie. So now, where did you live?
Lived in Atlanta for about 11
Atlanta,
months.
Georgia.
Yes.
I've been there. It's amazing.
Do you think?
Yeah, I loved it. Did you
on a
know?
holiday?
I was on a road trip across America.
Okay, that's understandable. I just think I loved it, but it's a bizarre holiday destination.
Why were you there?
I had a scholarship at college
Ooh.
for a year. It wasn't academic. Listen to this.
Yeah.
I was on a peace scholarship. So basically, Rotary clubs, which if you don't know what, do you know what Rotary
Yeah, it's
clubs
like
are?
a road trip, like a
Business-
charity, businessy sort of thing, isn't it?
like a networking thing. After the Second World War, they were like, oh, that war was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We should try and improve our international relations in some way. So what they did is they invited a student from somewhere in the world to come and study in America with the thought that the Americans that got to meet the student would learn about a culture through a person rather than just learning about them through the news, which
Sensible.
actually is a really wonderful idea.
Yeah.
And the idea grew and grew, so by the year that I went, I think there was about 50 of us that went from all over the world.
Just think, what made you be the representative of our country? No offence, but I wouldn't have suggested that Rotary Club would have picked you first.
I was promoting peace from Wales.
Okay, yeah.
Because there are a lot of,
war-torn Wrexham.
It really is. But yeah, you just applied, so I think not many people knew about it, so I had a really good chance of being picked.
Is it still going?
Yeah, I think so.
Apply
Probably not
now,
this year.
people. Well, not now. Apply now, you can get...
Yeah, my brother and my
great.
sister did it too. And
they all got to go?
yeah. My younger sister applied and didn't get it, so that was awkward. But essentially it's called the Georgia Rotary Scholarship Programme,
Okay.
So you apply, and then you have almost like, it's a bit like a dating profile. You're not being farmed out to date anyone, it's fine. But you have a picture, your interests, and kind of what you like doing, and then Rotary clubs can like select you, and they'll sponsor you to go to the nearby college.
Wow.
So you don't choose where you get to go. So you could get anywhere in Georgia, and it's such a lottery. So my sister got the biggest. My sister won. She won the lottery. She got to go to UGA, University of Georgia.
Wow.
Proper like college town with the football team.
What town is it in?
Athens.
Athens, yeah.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go. I got this tiny little college called Oglethorpe, which is actually based on Oxford. So when you look at it, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, really beautiful. And I loved it because it was a private college. So most campuses have got police on campus because obviously a lot of people are under 21 who shouldn't be drinking. We had security and they would see you. I'd be like doing the conga with like a bottle of wine and, you know, some beers, and they'd be like, "Ma'am, are you 21? I'd be like, "Yes." And they're like, "Have a great night." That was it.
That's amazing.
So I loved it for that reason, and Atlanta's a brilliant city. And then my brother, who got a Christian dry campus with like 900 students, like so far away from civilization. So I think we all had the varying levels. But
That's amazing.
Did a year. None of my, it was so much fun because in America you had to take core subjects. So you started to do your maths, sometimes art history.
Yeah.
Well, I was the only student in the college who didn't take core.
Right.
Because I was like, I'm here for a laugh, don't worry, it doesn't go towards anything. And the way that the American academic, everyone works so hard in their colleges. It's nothing like the UK, I swear to God. The minimum amount of credits I could take was 12, but most people do around 20 because they really want to get through. They're paying so much that they want to do as much as they can. I did 12.
Yeah.
And I only chose them on 2 days a week so that I would have a 5-day weekend. I had the best time.
That sounds amazing.
I did introduction to figure sculpture. I did. Oh, this is the best one. I did audition technique. So the art of auditioning for theatre.
Oh right.
But the college was paired with the Shakespeare. Like they had like a Shakespeare arm.
Yeah.
So you had to do one of your auditions. Had to be
Shakespeare,
Shakespeare, and I literally just said it, and they were like, "You are brilliant."
Just the accent.
I was just like reading it out verbatim.
The when you mentioned people going getting a dry campus or things like that, my friend Desi's Norwegian and they have to do national service and they don't know where they're going. So him and his mate went along to find out where they were going to get put, and Desi got to be a postman on an army base. So just riding around a bike every day, delivering letters. It was brilliant.
Sounds lovely.
But yeah. His mate got put in a submarine for a year. She's like underwater.
Oh my God.
She's like underwater for like 6 months at a time. They don't pop up for a bit and then go back underwater again.
Wow.
How mad's that?
That's a lottery.
Imagine that moment where you go, oh no.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad we don't have that.
Chelsea, the best part of the walk, I believe, is the pub at the end. Cheers.
Cheers to that. Hey, you've had a sip at that.
I have, yeah. You went to the toilet, you've got a jumpsuit on, so I was waiting for quite a while.
Sorry.
What do you think of this is the village of Shoreham. It's not too far from where I live. It's pleasant, isn't it?
It's really pleasant. We're in Kent right now.
We are in Kent, yeah. Darent Valley. And yeah, it's
I'm
nice.
a big fan of Kent.
Are you?
Everywhere I've been has been really stunning.
It's not all, but a lot of it is, yeah.
I have been to all the stunning places,
Okay.
like Canterbury, Whitstable,
Yeah.
Broadstairs,
Yep.
Deal,
That's nice.
Margate.
Yep.
I mean,
Margate's stunning in parts.
I like the character.
I like the character. I love Margate.
Yeah.
Big fan of Margate.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming walking with me. It's
Thank
been a
you for
really,
having me.
really enjoyable time. If you're watching this and you do not know Chelsea, then go over and subscribe to her YouTube and follow her on Instagram. She is the best person at Instagram I know.
Wow.
And also on Chelsea's channel, maybe at the same time as this video.
That's the plan.
There is a video of me defending skiing from her vicious attack, so go over and check that out now. Put a little thing in one of those things, I don't know what you call them.
Click the thing in the thing, please.
Click the thing in the thing. Thank you for watching. Back with another walk next week. I can't remember who it's with, but I'm sure it'll be absolutely marvellous.
It's going to be great.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Nice, isn't it?